Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife video for you. Today we're going to be looking back at my top 10 most disappointing knives of 2020. 2020 is not over yet, unfortunately. I realize that. And there's been a lot of disappointments in 2020, for sure. But I'm going to do this now because I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary, November 11th of 2020. I have a huge giveaway going to be announced on November 1st. Which this company here that you're seeing on the screen is involved with. Part of the reason why I have them on here is a lot of these knives are knives I got through Southern Edge Knife Works. I have great partnership with them. That's a good thing that's happened in 2020. I really loved working with them. It's been fantastic. And you go to southernedgeknifeworks.com, use the code SDSEK at checkout, and you get 15% off. There is a link down below if you want to go check them out. But yeah, they give me the license, I guess, the ability to check out some stuff that I normally, wouldn't necessarily check out. So, yeah, they're pretty good. That new Launch 13. I got one of those in the mail. Really excited about that. Don't think that's going to be a disappointment, but I'm excited to get that. But, yeah, they got all kinds of stuff. Go check them out, and thank you very much to them. Now, some of the knives you're going to see on this list, there's one on the screen right now, is they're not bad knives. Most of these are actually not horrible knives. They're just ones that I expected more from and I was excited about, and then I got them, and it was like, no, I don't like them. I actually still own some of these and still carry them quite a bit. But just they just weren't as great as I thought they were going to be for one reason or another. Two of them I didn't even bother reviewing, and that doesn't mean they're horrible. Honestly, it's easier to review a horrible knife than it is to review a meh knife, and some disappointments in a couple of these made them decidedly meh for me, and that's why I did not review them. So let's get to it. First up, this one, totally my fault. This is the Ostop Hell designed Wiimote, $169. 20 CV, titanium, what's not to like? Well, the size of it. I didn't read the specs, and it just looks like a larger knife, doesn't it? Like in the pictures, it just looks like a 3-inch, 3.5-inch, EDC knife, and it isn't. The blade length, 2.6 inches. It's a tiny little thing, and I was really so excited about this knife, never looked at the stats. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, I can't with this. No, I do have some small knives, and maybe I probably should have kept it around, but I know I'm not the only one. Another reviewer who I will not name made the exact same mistake. He got one in and was like, oh, crap, this is way smaller than I thought. Not the only time it happened to me this year. Oloni Rumson was the same thing. I was really excited about it. It looked bigger in the pictures, and I just didn't bother to read the stats. Read the stats, people. Don't be like Brian. Second, this is another one I just did not bother reviewing. This is the Kizer Kobold. Again, not priced badly. S35VN, titanium frame lot. You can see $149. This is on White Mountain Knives, another place we have a discount code, SWMK, 10% off. But I really liked the look of it. But it don't look as good in the picture, or it doesn't look good in person as it does in the pictures. I do have to say, this carbon is not as nice as it looks in the pictures. It's a very, very cheap looking carbon. This little doodad in the front of the blade I never really got used to. The ergos are pretty mediocre. This little square back lanyard hole thing dug into my palm. It just... The review was, I actually did record the review on this, and it's one that I lost when I had a big phone crash. But honestly, I didn't bother to re-record it. I just was like, I just don't want to go through that again. It was a very boring review, and I had some good stuff to say, some bad stuff. As if I recall correctly, the blade's pretty good, but the ergos were just weird, and I just didn't like it. This is the second best knife called Kobold this year. I think MKM, didn't they have one called, wasn't that what they called the Kobold too? Yeah, it's, didn't like it. Somebody else had another Kobold, and I did review that. Next up, here's all stuff I actually reviewed, these last 8. The Benchmade Mini Bugout. Love the Mini Bugout design. Still own this one you're seeing here on the screen right now. Especially if you live in a place that has a 3-inch blade limit and you want a really lightweight knife like the Bugout, it's great. Price is a bit high. I think this one was I wrote down prices here. Mini buggy, $136 for this version, which is arguably overpriced for S30V, but that didn't really make me disappointed. My disappointment was the colors it came in. It came in this version you see here, which they call the Stormtrooper. Colloquially, mine is now a Sith Trooper. I dyed it red, and it did come out really cool after I dyed it red, but I had to do that, and taking Benchmade's apart is a pain in the arse, so I was kind of annoyed that I did that. The other one was orange, which would have also been fine. It had a non-coated blade, which I'd prefer a non-coated blade by a large margin, but it came with orange thumb studs and orange back spacers. I'd have to deal with that. So in order to get a satin blade one in a color that's not ridiculous, it takes a lot of work. So I just stuck with a coated blade. It looks cool with the red and the black, but I still don't like the coated blade. It's a knife I just can't fall in love with. I think if it just came in the regular blue with the stonewash blade like the original Bugout, we've all been very, very happy. I don't know why they did those two color combinations. I know some people like it, but even if you like it, you can't argue that it's polarizing. Next up, the Spyderco Siren. I did not rank these, but if I did, this would probably be the most disappointing. Another LC200N knife. I wasn't in love with the looks, but I thought it looked at least interesting. But in reality, I guess it's probably really good being a fishing knife, what it's designed for, because it has that huge finger guard. I found it in the way in daily actual use, and the G10 on this was just pocket destroying grippy, to where this is not a knife you can EDC, in my opinion. For most people, I know a couple guys really like them and do EDC them, but I think it's probably really good fishing knife. I don't think it's a good knife just to use, and I guess it doesn't claim to be that. But I thought maybe it was still going to be really good, and LC200N and all that stuff. I was all excited, and then I got it, and it just was like, nah, don't care for this a bit. Next up would be the Kershaw Norad. Everyone raved about this thing. I'm sorry, the picture's a bit pixelated on this one. I don't know why that is. I guess it just didn't load right. Anywho, everybody raved about it. $68. I thought, and it's D2 blade, and I knew it was a stainless steel liner lock. I knew it was a little heavy, but everybody just raved about it. And man, I did not like it. Sharp edges here and there. Again, fake carbon that is not nice looking at all. The ergos weren't, like I said, they weren't that great, and they had some sharp edges. The action on it was pretty good. It was pretty good, but I just didn't like it at all. It just did not blow my skirt up. It's $68. I think it's overpriced, and I couldn't get into it. The next one, great knife, horrible launch, and so much so that I honestly sold this really quick. This is the Garrett Bull Shamwari, the Shamwari as it was called because it's made by We Knives. If you don't know, Garrett Bull makes very, very expensive custom knives, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And then he came out with this version, which was $283, and everybody was really excited. And the launch just got totally bungled. Site kept crashing. Nobody could get on it. First day, they just gave up. Second attempt, I managed to get one, but it took me, an hour and a half of hitting refresh and trying to do stuff. And then the second launch, they said, oh, never mind, we're canceling this launch too. And then some people said, no, we got through and ordered them. Oh, well, crap, I guess we do have to do them. And luckily, somebody on Instagram messaged me and said, hey, it's working again now, and I managed to get one. If somebody hadn't Instagrammed me, if I didn't have 10,000 followers on Instagram, I'd have never gotten one. And that was just inexcusable. And then when I got it, it felt great. Don't get me wrong. It's a Wii. It's built very well. The action's still good, but it felt farther off a real Shamwari than I was hoping it would, I guess. And I pretty immediately sold it, because not only was I frustrated, but every time that I showed it on the channel or on my Instagram, you guys expressed your frustration. And it was just like, this knife just makes everyone mad. And I'm mad at it too, so I'm getting rid of it. So yeah, but I did not gouge anybody. I think I sold it for $300 or something. They were going for $400 or $500 at the time on the internet. But next up, Another Benchmade. I'm sorry, Benchmade. This is a knife that I own and I love. I actually was just carrying it yesterday. I've been carrying it a lot lately. I have not added up my most carried knives of October 2020, but it's a good chance this is on it. It's a great knife, Benchmade Minifreak, the S90V carbon fiber version. The reason that it's on this list is A, it's $260, which is very expensive. And B, this isn't what we wanted. We really wanted a mini Super Freak. Everybody loves the M4, G10 Super Freak with that really cool G10 on it. We knew there was going to be a mini version of it. Obviously, an upgraded Benchmade Mini Freak was a no-brainer. But they went really far with the upgrades to make it very expensive. We wanted a Porsche level Mini Freak, and we got a Bugatti Mini Freak, and now that's the only Mini Freak. They've discontinued the cheaper ones, so yeah, hopefully they've got to be coming out with an M4 G10 one. They just have to, because $260 is it's a lot of money, and it's a great freaking knife. I love it. Like I said, I've been carrying it. I put a carbon fiber pocket clip on it. It looks really cool, and I love the knife. But yeah, $260, and it's more than we asked for, in more ways than one. Next up, I'm gonna beat on another big popular company and have two in here, but they're big companies, so they make a lot of knives. It's unsurprising there's two of them on here, but that would be the Spyderco Swayback, another knife I own. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna own it. I will say, of all the knives you've seen on here that I mentioned that I own, this is probably the first one that would go up for sale. But it's $273. I don't think that's bad. XHP steel, full titanium, Martine Swish design. It's a really nice looking knife, in my opinion. But two things. First of all, the ergos are a bit weird. I've kind of gotten used to that. Like, in actual use, it's very comfortable in the hand. But if you're just sitting there holding it, trying to judge if a knife is comfortable or not, like a lot of people do, like you would if you're in a knife shop or whatever, it feels weird. The little upsway on the butt of the handle kind of digs into your hand, but once you're actually using it and you're bearing down, it doesn't, and it's extremely comfortable, and it allows you to put more force on this amazing Wharncliffe blade. Fantastic blade. Love the blade on this thing. But the other thing, I should have taken the shot of the other side. That pocket clip, though. I mean, God, they put just a regular old Spyderco, spoon clip on it, and it does not look good. It works fine. I've been meaning to upgrade and get a milled titanium pocket clip for it. I just never have, because I'm not sure how long this thing's going to be around in my collection. But I was really excited. Another Martine Swish design. I have a Spidey Chef. I'd love to have a Swish buoy, wouldn't we all? But God, those things are ridiculous on the secondary now. But it was one that I was super excited about, and then I wasn't. Oh, and also, by the way, another thing disappointing. It's big. This is a big old knife. These are 1/2-inch squares on here, so you can see that blade is. We can measure it out right here. 1, 2, 3. It's like 3.6 inches long. It's a big old blade. Was not expecting that. Most Swayback like pocket knives aren't that big, so was kind of expecting more like a 3-inch blade or something like that. And it's a big old sucker. So yeah, it was just, again, not a bad knife. Still own it. May sell it, but it was just disappointing. I think this is one that just we all had really high expectations, and it just didn't quite meet it. Next one. This is another one I had high expectations for. This is the CIVIVI XArc, but you could also insert the Chronic in here, because the Chronic has the exact same handle. The XArc is just a front flipper version of the Chronic. Was super excited about this when I saw it when they first debuted it. This one I did read the stats on. I knew what size it was. I like long, slender blades like this. I thought it was going to be a really great knife. And the ergonomics for my hands are just a hot mess. I find it to be extremely uncomfortable. Digs in the palm of my hand on the butt. I know I keep saying that a lot. That's something that's really been, I guess I've been kind of focused on this year. I used to kind of accept that and write it off, and I don't anymore. So I find it to be extremely uncomfortable. And it's, other than that, great knife. But man, I did not enjoy using it at all. I had a Chronic, had an XArc, sold them both. Just in very short order. Just great blades. The Chronic has a different blade shape, but great blades. the front flipper and the XArc, it's a great front flipper. It's very easy to use, but man, it's just too uncomfortable to stick around. And lastly, you didn't think they were going to go away without something, did you? The ZT-0357. Man, I was excited when I saw this $150 ZT in an overall design shape language that I really, really like. Then I saw it was speed safe, and I thought, well, maybe it'll still be great. No, it just isn't. I do get it if people just want something that says ZT. I'm sure they're gonna sell. I'm sure they have sold a mess of these things. Although I don't know, I don't see them that much out on like Instagram and stuff like that. So, but I guess they probably sell them to more normals that don't post about their knives all the time. But I'm sure they're gonna sell a bunch of them. But it's just, I couldn't get past the speed safe, and I did not keep it for long. I think I gave it a pretty fairly positive review. I think a couple of these on here I did give a pretty positive review, even though I was personally disappointed in them. I still think they're decent knives. Like I said, I still own some of them that I put on here. But this one, I did not keep for very long at all. And I really wanted to. I really wanted kind of a beater ZT, and I've been rooting for ZT. I want them to come out with some more compelling stuff, and I really thought this was going to be one of them. They had the 0707, which I like the 0707 a little more, but that didn't stick around either. But the 0357, 148.50, you can do better and without speed safe. So did I have that price right? I do, $148. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Again, this is not a bash fest. I don't truly hate any of these knives. It's just ones that I really wanted to like, and in the end, I just couldn't. So I'm going to do an opposite. I'll make up for this. I'm going to do my most pleasantly surprising knives of 2020. That may only be 5. I don't know. It may not be as long of a list, but we will see. Hopefully I'll have that up later this week, early next week. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.